Hello, so today I want to talk about a very important mental skill set that I think, some athletes do quite well naturally and other athletes need a little more help in developing this skill set, and this is rethinking. And what I mean by rethinking is, specifically looking at maybe your routines or how you're approaching something from maybe the food you're eating or the way that you're working out. And if it's really getting you the results that you are looking for. Most athletes are very routine-based individuals. Some obviously fall into the side of superstitious. And sometimes we have to look at, is the thing that we are doing really still getting us towards the results or outcomes or performance that we are looking to get? And there are a couple examples I want to look at here. One of these examples is usually as an athlete is getting older, they are forced to change the way they do things so that they can maintain being able to perform at a high level, but obviously take into the fact, the reality that they are, getting older, their body is changing, and they need to now approach maybe the way that they work out a little differently, maybe a little bit more recovery to make sure that they can still perform at peak levels. And you can see this in a variety of sports. A great example of this maybe is in tennis, where some of these top individuals like Federer, Nadal, Djokovic are, making decisions at times to not play in major tournaments, to rest their bodies so that they are ready to go for the tournaments that they do want to perform and compete in. And obviously, their success does give them a little bit more of an ability to do this. But you also do see this in other sports where athletes have to change the way that they eat, change the way that they, do their maybe, workouts away from their competition to be able to still maximize and utilize, their body to the best of their abilities with the reality that things are changing. Another example of this that I talked with recently with one of my professional athletes is something like a nap. So in certain sports, pre-game naps are huge, and I think they can be exceptionally beneficial. A lot of athletes, whether you're a student athlete or a professional athlete, like sleep sometimes is hard to come by just during the nighttime. So you have to find that ability to sleep at other various points. And definitely if you're performing at night, naps beforehand can definitely be very important. At the same time though, is it still, you have to look at, is it getting you where you want to go? Is the nap actually rejuvenating you, giving you energy, making you feel more awake for your competitions? Or is it actually kind of draining you in terms of maybe you wake up more groggy because you overslept, or because maybe you didn't need to sleep? And so one of my professional athletes I was talking about, he was forced due to, he was a student athlete after being a professional athlete for a year or two. And at times he wasn't able to do his pregame nap because of, school, essays, projects, exams, whatever it was. And he sometimes realized that actually he performed better when he didn't nap, that, keeping his mind active, keeping his mind away from the game really helped him to then actually go out and perform. And it doesn't mean he doesn't nap at all anymore. There are times where he is tired and he needs to nap to obviously kind of help him have the energy he needs for his game. But it opened the door for him to kind of rethink this routine that he had, that if he wasn't put in that situation, he would have just continually done pre-game naps without ever really rethinking it. And so it's important for you as an athlete to look at some of your routines, some of the things that you do that you think, are helping you, that you think are gaining you some type of benefit and getting you towards where you're wanting to go with your performance. And maybe they are, but it is, important to kind of rethink these things sometimes. It isn't necessarily meaning you need to rethink these things all the time. We definitely don't want to be always changing our routines and always rethinking. We have to trust the things that we have decided to do. But maybe, once or twice a year to just check in and say, okay, like, are these things that I'm doing that I think are giving me some benefit, are they still the best things for me to do? How do I know? How do I know that they are helping me to be the very best version of myself, to be able to perform in the manner that I want to, both physically as well as mentally? And so that's a great question for you to ask yourself, is how do you know whether it's benefiting you or not benefiting you anymore, or if something maybe needs to be adjusted?